There is a whisper inside me that has never stopped. It has been with me since birth, maybe even earlier. It is a feeling that the current reality, this version of my life, is only a small part of what is possible. I feel it in quiet moments. I see it in dreams. Sometimes I catch a glimpse of time dissolving in something greater, something eternal, touching my consciousness. This whisper is not a figment of my imagination. It is a connection to the quantum field, an infinite living consciousness that holds all my versions, all my possibilities, all the paths I can take. And this is the truth. My version of abundance, healing, fulfillment, and radiance already exists. Not in the distant future, not after much labor, but now vibrating in the field, waiting for me to tune into it. This is the sacred art of the quantum leap. Most people misunderstand it as a mental exercise, a visualization, a trick to get what they want. But mystics, great teachers, and pioneers like Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton know something more. I am not separate from the reality I desire, but connected to it. The quantum field is not a place I go to, but the fabric of which I am made. And when I change my vibration, when I align my mind, heart, and body, I burst into the timeline that has been waiting for me all along. As Bruce Lipton's research shows, my capabilities are not limited by my DNA, my past, or my circumstances. My biology responds to my environment, and I am the architect of my internal environment. Every thought, every feeling, every belief sends chemical signals throughout my body, shaping my cells and creating my future. Joe Dispenza teaches that it is impossible to create a new reality by living in the emotions of the old you. If I wake up with the same thoughts, the same fears, and the same habits, I am experiencing the same reality over and over again. To make a quantum leap, you have to break this cycle. Let me reveal the sacred truth. The quantum field does not respond to my desires, but to what I broadcast. Desires, affirmations, and vision boards are superficial signals. The true signal comes from my embodied state, from the frequency I hold in my heart, breath, and body. This is why so many people find it so difficult. I am trying to enter a new life with the power of thought, but I am carrying the emotional baggage of the old. I want abundance, but I am vibrating in lack. I want love, but I am vibrating in fear. I want health, but I am vibrating in doubt. The quantum can only meet me where I am. So here is my invitation. Go beyond the surface mind. Go deep into the sensory experience of your being. Imagine how the version of you already living in your desired timeline feels. What does her body feel like? What energy does she radiate? What decisions does she make effortlessly? This is not about pretending, it is about remembering, activating the frequency of who you were always meant to be. Stop for a moment. Close your eyes if you want. Breathe in. Feel the subtle current of possibility flowing through you. It has always been there, this part of you that knows without proof, without evidence, that something more is possible, that you are meant to live in harmony, wholeness, and expansion. This is the door. In the next section, we'll step through it to explore how the quantum field responds to the dominant signal I send, why biology and consciousness are intertwined, and how to break free from the patterns that keep me stuck in old timelines. Am I ready to remember who I really am? If I'm still here, something inside me has awakened. I may not have the words to express it yet. I may not be able to explain why, but I feel a pull, a magnetic pull of a new timeline calling me forward. This is the call of the quantum leap, the moment when I stop waiting for life to change and realize that change begins with me. Let's dig deeper. The quantum leap is often misunderstood. People think this means imagining a new life or hoping for a miracle. But it's really about moving into a higher vibrational reality that already exists in the infinite quantum field. Here's the science. Quantum physics teaches that every possibility, every version of me, every potential timeline vibrates in a field of infinite energy. I am connected to these potentials right now. And here's the thing. The observer effect says that what I focus on, what I observe, what I emotionally invest in, turns a probability wave into a particle of reality. Simply put, my attention plus my emotional state determines the timeline I experience. Joe Dispenza's work explains this beautifully. The quantum field does not respond to my desires or goals, but to the energetic signature I emit. So if I continue to focus on what is missing, if I continue to experience emotions of lack, fear, or frustration, I inadvertently attract timelines that reflect these states. Bruce Lipton expands on this by showing how my biology is shaped not by my genes, but by the chemical environment I create with my thoughts and emotions. My body is constantly listening, adjusting, responding. It is not a passive passenger, but a co-creator. When I combine these ideas, something powerful emerges. A quantum leap is not a mental game, but an act of embodied transformation. Let me give you an example. Imagine two versions of me. One wakes up in the morning and immediately checks her phone, worries about the day ahead, replaying old worries and habits in her mind. Her body releases stress hormones, her nervous system tenses. She goes through life, disrupting the same limited timeline she has always known. The other version wakes up with a sense of gratitude. It tunes into a sense of possibility before any evidence has arrived. It relaxes the body, opens the heart, aligns the mind with trust and expansion. Its chemistry changes, its electromagnetic field changes, its quantum signal changes, and the field in turn morphs into a new reality. Same person, different vibrations, different timelines. This is what most people miss. The quantum leap is not effort, it is alignment. Alignment means that my thoughts, emotions, body, and energy are all aligned to the same signal. No conflict, no internal war, no subconscious backlash. Joe Dispenza teaches that when I enter alignment, I unlock the electromagnetic power of the heart. I balance my brain waves and become a beacon for the quantum field. And Bruce Lipton shows that when I shift from survival, fight or flight mode to growth, trust and openness, my biology opens the door to healing, regeneration, and new manifestation. So why is it so hard to make the leap? Because most people are chemically attached to the old self. Their body craves the familiar emotions of the past. Their subconscious resists the unfamiliar new. They try to make the leap mentally, but the body pulls them back. This is why embodiment matters. To make a quantum leap, I must not only think about the new timeline, I must feel it, breathe it, walk it, become it. Let's pause here. Close your eyes if you want. Take a deep, slow breath. What timeline have I been unconsciously maintaining? What emotional states have I been rehearsing on autopilot? What would it be like to actually feel the vibration of a version of me that has already made the leap? This isn't about forcibly changing. It's about softening into alignment. It's about remembering that the quantum field is alive, waiting, and responding. It's about understanding that my future self is not separate from me, but is already reaching out to me through the veil. Before we go any further, I invite you, if this resonates, if part of you is awakening, to leave a simple word in the comments that reflects the timeline you are ready to enter. It could be freedom, abundance, health, love, trust, or whatever lights you up. Let this be a declaration not for me, but for you and for the quantum field that is always listening. Let's go deeper. I now understand that the quantum leap is not wishing, dreaming, or even intense visualization. It's about alignment, a complete vibrational match between who I am now and the version of me that already lives on the higher timeline I'm striving for. But here's the most overlooked truth. The leap is not external, it's internal. When people hear about a quantum leap, they often imagine something dramatic, a sudden external miracle. But quantum shifts do not occur because the universe suddenly changes around me, but because I change my state, and the universe, through the observer effect, reflects this new state. Joe Dispenza teaches this. When you close your eyes and go beyond your senses, when you leave behind your familiar identity, your name, your past, your body, your environment, you enter the quantum field as pure consciousness. And from that space, I can begin to create. But creation doesn't just come from the mind, it comes from the heart, body, and energy system working as one. I have to feel the feelings of a new reality ahead of the evidence. This is where many people get stuck. They try to think about abundance while still feeling lack. They try to affirm love while still vibrating with fear. They try to visualize healing while still carrying doubt in their cells. The quantum field does not respond to mixed signals, but to coherent energy. Bruce Lipton's work shows that the subconscious controls about 95% of my life. If my subconscious beliefs are still programmed with old stories, I am not worthy, I can't have what I want. Life is hard, then no matter how hard I try to consciously make the leap, my biology will pull me back. That's why a quantum leap requires reprogramming. So how do you reprogram? Don't fight the old, create the new. Here's the process. Step 1. Enter a state beyond the old self through meditation, breathing exercises, or intentional focus. Step out of your usual identity. As Dispenza says, become no one, nowhere, never. Pure awareness. Step 2. Activate elevated emotions. Don't just think about the new timeline. Feel it. What does the version of you that's gone feel in your body? Gratitude, freedom, joy, peace. Create those feelings now, ahead of the evidence. Step 3. Embrace the frequency. Daily quantum leaps are not one-time events. They are supported by daily alignment. This means catching yourself when you slip into old emotions, bringing yourself back into alignment with your breath, and operating from the new state over and over again. Step 4. Trust the field. Let go of how and when the outer shift appears. Remember, reality is reordered around your dominant frequency, not your timeline or impatience. The field is always reacting. Let me give you an example. Imagine two timelines. In one, you wake up and immediately remember everything you are worried about. You check your phone, you cringe, you rush through the day. Even if you try to manifest something, you do it from a state of survival. In another, you wake up, take a breath, connect with your heart, and feel the version of you that is already living the life of your dreams. You walk, talk, and make decisions from this state. You carry it with you not for a moment, but for hours, days, weeks until it becomes who you are. Which version do you think the quantum field responds to? A quantum leap is not a performance, not a pretense. It is about remembering and rehearsing a new way of being until it reprograms your mind, your body, and your life. Joe Dispenza calls this getting to know the unknown, entering uncertainty not with fear, but with excitement. Bruce Lipton calls this changing the signal you are broadcasting, telling yourself a new story through your chemistry. Stop right now, take a breath, close your eyes if you want. Imagine that you have already made the leap, that you have already shattered the old timeline, that you have already aligned with your higher self. What does that feel like? What is changing inside you right now just by recognizing this possibility? Before we go any further, I offer you this. Say it out loud as a simple declaration. I am ready. You are not speaking to me. You are speaking to yourself, to yourselves, to the quantum. You have come further than you think. You have crossed internal thresholds that most people spend their entire lives skirting. But here is the truth you must carry forward. The leap is not the end, it is the beginning. A quantum leap is not a single moment of transformation. It is an ongoing act of embodiment, a repeated decision to live as the version of yourself that has already crossed over to a higher timeline. The danger is not that you will fail once or twice. The danger is that you will return to the comfort of the old timeline, not because it is better, but because it is more familiar. Every day you encounter little doors, tiny openings where the old and new timelines collide. When doubt creeps in, when frustration flares, when an old habit tempts you, these are not signs that you are failing. They are tests, invitations, thresholds. The question is not whether the new timeline is real. It is already real. The question is, will you claim it over and over again until it becomes your new home? To support the shift, you must be deeply aware of the energy you feed on. Every thought, every choice, every word you speak is an offering. Are you offering it to the old timeline, the one where you are small, limited, afraid, doubting? Or are you offering it to the new timeline, the one where you are expansive, trusting, abundant, aligned? It's not about perfection. It's not about never slipping, falling, or wavering. It's about the frequency you return to, the vibration you amplify with your constant attention. You see, the quantum field does not test you. It reflects you. And your power is not in forcing the field to bend to your will, but in aligning yourself so completely with that version of yourself, your desire to be that the field has no choice but to reflect. That is why ritual matters. Not because rituals are magic, but because they anchor your focus, your energy, your intention. When you light a candle, say an affirmation, take a conscious breath. You are not simply doing something. You plant a flag in a new timeline. You say, I belong here. I live here. Now let your life become a living ritual. Let your mornings begin not with the bustle of habits, but with a pause, a breath, a remembrance. Who am I today? What version of myself am I nourishing? Let moments throughout the day be marked by small returns to presence. Hand on heart, whisper of trust, eyes closed to feel the energy you choose. May your nights end not in a rehearsal of the day's worries, but in a rehearsal of the future you have already declared. Thank you. Thank you for the life I am entering. Thank you for the shift that is already unfolding. And when you are tested, as you will be, remember that the test is not a punishment. The test is a mirror. It shows you where you are still attached to the old. It asks you to choose again. The test does not ask you to fight the old. It asks you to nourish the new, to become so saturated with the frequency of the higher timeline that the old timeline dissolves from lack of nourishment. You are not simply manifesting events. You are manifesting a self, an identity, a being. The shift you are making is not about getting something. It is about being someone. And that someone is already alive inside you, waiting not to be created, but to be discovered. Stop for a moment. Breathe into your chest, your heart, your belly. Feel where you hold tension, resistance, doubt, not to judge it, but to soften it. Say to yourself gently, perhaps even out loud, I trust the leap. I trust the shift. I trust the becoming. Feel the energy within you realigning, even just a little. This is the work. This is the path. Before we move on to the final part of this journey, take a moment to anchor this energy. In the comments, share one exercise, one ritual, one commitment you make to support your leap. Maybe it's a morning intention, a word you whisper, a gesture you offer yourself. Keep it small but real. Let it be yours. This space is here to witness you, to hold you, to remind you that you are not doing this alone. You have come to the edge of yourself, and here on this trembling threshold, you can feel it, the pulse of the life you are entering. Not the life you dream of, not the life you are chasing, but the life you are embodying. The shift you are making is not about adding something to yourself. It is about letting go of everything you have never truly been. Fear, doubt, inherited stories, conditioned patterns. They are not your essence. They are costumes you have learned to wear. And here you stand, naked, open-hearted, ready to clothe yourself in the frequency of your true becoming. Quantum Leap is not a game of chasing results. It is the art of remembering. The remembrance that the timeline where you are already aligned, already abundant, already whole, already free, exists now. It exists in this breath, in this moment, in every heartbeat. And you access it not by force, not by striving, but by surrendering to the truth that you are and have always been a co-creator with the universe. The field responds to you because the field is you. It does not test you, it reflects you. It does not hold you back, it dances with your vibration. The more you fold into coherence, where your thoughts, emotions, choices, and energy flow in unity, the more the quantum realigns itself around you to reflect that state. But here's the secret you'll carry forward. The leap is not one day, it's daily, hourly, moment by moment. Every breath, every decision, every whisper in your own mind is a transition. Do you choose the timeline where you remain small, apologetic, indecisive? Or do you breathe into the timeline where you rise, where you declare, where you shine without explanation or delay? You have everything you need, not tomorrow, not after you fix it, prove it, or master it. Right here, you are already encoded with the signal of your higher self. You just need to tune into it, trust it, strengthen it. Make this your practice. Wake up every day not with a checklist of what you must achieve to be worthy, but with the calm knowledge that you are already worthy. Enter your day not as someone trying to manifest, but as someone who is already manifesting in the way you hold your gaze, in the way you speak your truth, in the way you soften when tension arises, in the way you remember when the old timeline beckons in moments of doubt. Return here to your breath, to your center, to the unshakable truth that you are the portal, the bridge, the key. There is no difference between you and the version of yourself you are longing to meet. That version of you is already here, woven into your cells, humming under your skin, pulsing in the space between your thoughts. Stop now. Breathe into this moment. Feel the flow of life flowing through you. Not the life you inherited, not the life you agreed to, but the life you choose. Whisper to yourself, maybe even out loud, I agree. I am taking the leap. I am becoming. This is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of a new rhythm, a new home frequency, a new relationship with life where you are no longer waiting, bargaining, or shrinking. You are rising, you are leaping, you are supporting. If this journey has stirred something within you, if you feel a click, a shift, a quiet yes rising in your heart, I invite you to subscribe, not as a subscriber, but as a co-creator, a fellow traveler, a being who is here to expand, to align, to remember. And in the comments, share one word, one powerful word that reflects your leap. It could be sovereignty, freedom, love, flow, abundance, or a word that only you know. Let it be a signal not just to me, not just to this community, but to the field itself. Claim it, anchor it, breathe it into the quantum where it can ripple, echo, and return to you magnified. Thank you for walking this path. Thank you for your presence, your energy, your trust. Keep jumping, keep softening, keep becoming. Because the truth is, you are not here to watch magic, you are here to be magic. And when you remember that, when you embody that, the quantum will always, always respond. Enjoy diving into the quantum world. Subscribe to stay up to date with new revelations that can change your reality.